On today's primetime local news, a local store is hosting a fashion show to say bye to winter.
Local is so important because it's part of our unique culture.
And Home Depots across Alberta are hiring more people, including here in Lloydminster. A local school that rents their building may have to pay property taxes.
So at what point do you set a precedent as City Council?
Plus, the Lakeland women's basketball team are getting set for playoffs.
We got a deep team that can score the ball. As long as we can compete, I think we'll have a good shot no matter who we play.
Prime time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
A local school might be hit with a $17,000 bill to cover property taxes on its rented property. The Greater North Central Francophone Education Region does not meet the Lloydminster's charter requirement to be exempt from property tax. To be exempt, the school division must own the property. Another sticking point is the school does not qualify as a nonprofit like other schools, with students having to be of Francophone descent to attend.
I'm personally not comfortable with looking someone in the eye walking down the street as a taxpayer and saying, we just wrote off $17,000 in taxes so 26 children can go to a private school, because basically that's what it is. I can't send my children there, they don't qualify to go. So at what point do you set a precedent as City Council and say, yeah, we're going to do it for this one, and then the next private school comes up and we're not doing it for that one?
Other councillors see the GNC Francophone School like other schools, providing a service to the community.
I accept that there's some wrinkles that it's part of the Alberta Act rather than the Saskatchewan Act, which is what we follow in the charter. But if that school were located in any other jurisdiction within the province of Alberta, there would be no question. It would be property tax exempt, and I just fear that you set a dangerous precedent if you actually don't allow this property tax exemption.
In the Lloydminster Charter, Council has the option to cancel the property tax, which will go to first reading at a later date. While jobs may be hard to come by in the border city in the current economy, one local business is hoping to hire over 30 people. Home Depot is looking to hire 850 people across Alberta, including 34 here in Lloydminster. The new staff will help the store keep up with busy spring business.
We are a spring-summer business where people get outside, plant your flowers, build your decks, and just enjoy a nice day outside. So it is absolutely our busy time of the year.
The Lloydminster Home Depot already had a job fair last week for overnight positions, and they'll be having another job fair next week for daytime positions.
Basically, all they really need to bring is a resume of some sort with them. Show up on the 11th between 4 and 8. You can also go online to careershomedepot.ca and apply directly there and bring that information in with you. And we also have the ability to text that information in at 97211 and just text Home Depot jobs, and they'll send you all the available jobs we may have.
Over 75% of Home Depot managers started out as hourly workers. Tonight, Dawn Interiors and Fashion will be hosting their first ever mini fashion show to welcome in spring. This is the first time they're hosting a mini fashion show, and they want to showcase some of their new spring arrivals while saying goodbye to winter at the same time.
A mini fashion show that we're having in the store. We're going to have tea and snacks, like a whole snack bar for people. We're selling and blowing out the winter fashions and highlighting and the spring fashions that are coming in. We have an expert professional makeup lady that's coming in.
They won't have a typical runway, but models will be walking around showing off the clothes. They also want to showcase businesses and products from around the area.
We do have local artists that we feature, and local small businesses that we sell their jewelry, we sell all their products. And local is so important because it's part of our unique culture here as a prairie people, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and what the people are producing here is part of who we are.
The event takes place between 6 to 8 tonight at Dawn Interiors and Fashions, located near the corner of 50th Street and 50th Ave. Now we go to our Abby St. John with the weather.
Thanks, Jasmine. It's currently +1 here in Lloydminster. A little less cloud coverage. It was fairly cloudy throughout early this morning, but it definitely did clear up throughout the day. Winds coming out of the west at 22 kilometers per hour. Current temperatures in Alberta, 2 out in Cold Lake and Rocky Mountain House, and out in Jasper, -1 in Red Deer, and 3 in Edmonton, Edson, Whitecourt, and Athabasca. And on the Saskatchewan side, 0 in Meadow Lake and Saskatoon, -4 in Prince Albert and Melfort, and 2 out in North Battleford. And then in North Battleford overnight, the clouds will start to clear up. However, there is some chance of some snowfall overnight and into tomorrow, with the temperature dropping to -6 overnight tonight, and that wind will be coming out of the south-southwest at 11 kilometers per hour. And then tomorrow, a daytime high of +1, and that chance of periods of snow throughout the day, hopefully dying off by the evening, with the wind coming out of the southwest at 15 kilometers per hour. And then in Cold Lake overnight, a little bit heavier cloud coverage, as there's a 60% chance of some periods of snow. Also some rain too overnight tonight, and then tomorrow about 5 to 10 centimeters of snowfall tomorrow. Temperature dropping to -6 overnight, and that wind will be coming out of the south-southwest at 7 kilometers per hour. And then tomorrow coming out of the west at 19 kilometers per hour, with a daytime high of +3. Here in Lloydminster overnight, the temperature will drop to -6, and we have some chances of periods of snow starting tonight as well. And then tomorrow about 2 to 4 centimeters is predicted to fall. Winds coming out of the south-southwest at 15 kilometers per hour, and then coming out of the west tomorrow at 19 kilometers per hour, with a daytime high of +1, which will feel closer to -14 with that wind chill, with a low of -6. And then on Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 0, which will feel closer to -10 with that wind chill, and a low of -10. And then on Friday, a mix of sun and cloud as well, with a high of 0, which will feel closer to -24 with that wind chill, and a low of -5. That is a look at your 3-day forecast. We'll have more news coming up after the break.
With the Bobcat season being over, we take a look at one player who went above and beyond all season long when it came to the community. Evan Kenny has more in this year's final Beyond the Boards.
A tough outside, but a soft inside.
Well, just Chad's been such a huge piece. When we traded for him in the summer, you know, they didn't want to move him because they thought he was going to be a captain there, and we worked hard to make that trade happen, and we loved everything about him and the 2 other players we got at the time. And
People who have watched the Bobcats might think of Chad McLean as an agitator, but deep down, he's a soft-hearted teammate.
I've always been blessed with parents that go to school or go to work every day so I can go to school, buy me pencils, calculators, whatever it is. So, you know, they put 3 meals on the table a day. So pretty fortunate for that, and I just want to help out the youth here.
At the team's awards banquet, McLean was not only honored by the team sharing the humanitarian award, but was also honored by the AJHL. McLean was the team's representative for the RBC Community Ambassadors.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if people see me play, they probably think I'm a bit of a jerk, but you know, it never hurts to be a good person. I mean, good things happen to good people, so it's always awesome to help out the kids and the youth.
This is largely due to his $1,000 donation to one of the local schools. McLean also often visits schools in his spare time.
He's so personal. I think Chad's a big little kid that you know, he defines the day, he defines the moment, and he's awesome all around.
And while he has gone back to his home in Calgary for the summer, McLean says Lloyd feels like his second home. Evan Kenny, Primetime Local Sports.
Beyond the Boards is brought to you by City Center Auto Body. For over 35 years, City Center Auto Body has been your go-to auto body shop.
Lloydminster native Ty Smith is continuing to excel with the Spokane Chiefs this season, exploding Friday evening with a hat trick plus 5 assists and a 9-2 victory against the Seattle Thunderbirds. Smith was quick to credit his teammates during what was a surreal night.
Kind of just slowly as the game went on, guys were just kind of asking how many that I had that game. So a bit of a crazy game, a pretty lucky game.
The Devils prospect says it was special to have his dad in attendance.
We played a couple good games, so I think he was happy he could make it out and kind of be there for that game and be a part of that game.
Smith and the Chiefs have a big test tomorrow night against the Edmonton Oil Kings. The Lakeland Rustlers women's basketball team is bound for Medicine Hat this evening as the ACAC Championship gets underway this week. Despite missing out on the North Division lead by 1 win, the Rustlers improved on last season by 2 wins and entered the playoffs having won 9 of their last 10. A recent injury to rookie Taylor Pipes hurts the squad at both ends, but coach Chris King remains confident in his roster.
We like where we're at. We know we got a deep team that can score the ball. As long as we can compete, I think we'll have a good shot no matter who we play. Facing Lethbridge, a team that really shoots it well, so a little bit of a weird one for us.
Limiting defensive lapses and turnovers are keys to the team's success against the Kodiaks in round 1.
We don't have anything to lose, honestly. At this point, we made it playoff. That's our goal, so we just have to put it all on the floor and try our best, and that's really it.
The Rustlers quarterfinal contest begins at 1 p.m. Thursday on ACAC TV. Now to our Abby St. John with the weather.
Thanks, Jasmine. Taking a look at our satellite radar, a little bit of that mix of freezing rain and snow activity outside the Edmonton area over the past couple of hours. We here in Lloydminster could experience some periods of snowfall tonight, and then there's about 2 to 4 centimeters predicted to fall tomorrow during the day. Up in Cold Lake, about a 60% chance of some periods of snow and or rain also starting tonight and into tomorrow, and they're predicted to get about 5 to 10 centimeters of snow tomorrow. On the Saskatchewan side, up in Isle Cross, Pearson, Green Lake, Meadow Lake, experiencing some snowfall over the past couple of hours and could possibly see some of that fall tomorrow as well. In North Battleford, about 2 to 4 centimeters is predicted to fall. About periods of snowfall tomorrow, hopefully dying off by the evening. Current temperatures +1 here in Lloydminster, -1 in Isle Cross and St. Walburg, 0 in Green Lake, Pearson, Meadow Lake, Maidstone, 2 in Mackland and out in North Battleford. And on the Alberta side, 2 in Cold Lake, 1 in Lac La Biche, Bonnyville, 2 also out in Vermilion, 3 in Provost, and in Edmonton, 0 in Vegreville, St. Paul, and Marwayne. And tomorrow, 1 here in Lloydminster as well as in Marwayne, St. Paul, Wainwright, and Provost, 2 in Vermilion, Vegreville, Edmonton, and Bonnyville, 3 in Cold Lake and Lac La Biche. And on the Saskatchewan side, 0 in Isle Cross, Green Lake, Meadow Lake, and St. Walburg, 2 in Pearceland and down in Mackland, 1 in Maidstone and in North Battleford. Overnight across the region, lighter cloud coverage in Meadow Lake and Pearceland, and then heavier cloud coverage in Isle Cross, Bonnyville, Paradise Hill, Unity, Wainwright, Murnum, and Provost. -7 in Meadow Lake and Pearceland, -10 in Isle Cross, -5 in Bonnyville and Wainwright, -8 in Paradise Hill, -6 in Unity and Murnum, and -3 in Provost for your overnight temperatures. Your school day forecast for tomorrow at 8 a.m. it'll be -6 with that periods of snowfall, and then at recess time the snow may have stopped with a mix of sun and cloud with the temperature at around -3. -1 around lunchtime where periods of snow could continue, and then by the time school is out it'll be a little bit more sunnier with the temperature around 0 with a low of -6 for tomorrow. Mix of sun and cloud on Thursday with a high of 0 and a low of -10. On Friday, a high of 0 as well with a low of -5. To start your weekend off on Saturday, an 84% chance of snow with a high of -12 and a low of -17. On Sunday, a high of -13 and a low of -17. Then back on Monday, a high of -12 and a low of -26. And then things warm back up on Tuesday with a high of -3 and a low of -16 with a mix of sun and cloud. That is a look at your 7-day forecast. We'll have more news in the question of the day coming up after the break.
Our question of the day today has to do with the fact that today is World Wildlife Day, so pretty interesting day, and we asked on our Facebook page, what is one wild animal you'd want as a pet? Because I know for me as a kid, you'd watch movies, you watch documentaries, you're like, wow, it'd be cool if I had a tiger or something, and we got a few responses on our Facebook.
Yeah, we did, and it's always interesting because, like you said, like we see all these animals, and it's like, and then you see videos of people who have had, like, you know, they've cared for lions, and then they come back, and the lion just runs up and hugs them. So that'd be always super interesting. A lot of our comments were very different. Someone said a lynx, an otter, because they watch different zoo shows, a panda bear, a descented skunk, which was interesting. That they are really cute, so I would have to agree. A cheetah or a red fox, all of the animals, which I love. An owl, bobcat, a koala bear, monkey, chimp, fox, hippo, you know, just different exotic animals I think will be fun. Obviously, they are wild animals, so wouldn't really have them as pets, but it's always really fun to think about.
And a wide variety of comments. I know for me, I always liked an elephant as a kid, but I don't really think that would be a really good pet because, you know, it might be bigger than my house, but there's always fun ones out there.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Elephants have been my favorite animal my whole life, but I wouldn't really necessarily choose them as a pet because you need a large space to keep them. But I was always been drawn to the wolf. I think they're very mysterious and very strong and loyal. So definitely a wolf would be my choice for a wildlife pet.
That is a good choice. Now these aren't wildlife pets, but they are your pets. So now we're going to take a look at your pet pictures. Thank you to everyone who submitted, and we will be giving away a Pet Pad gift card on Friday.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
I'm here with Becca from the SPCA, and today she's brought in Naomi, an adorable 9-week-old puppy. She is the last of the litter at the SPCA. Completely adorable, loves the attention and just playing around. Tell me a little bit about her story and how she came to the SPCA.
Yeah, so her mama came to the SPCA and then ended up having the puppies a few days later. So we were all very shocked. But yeah, her mom's still at the shelter, so she's a husky. And then from what we found out as well too, her dad is a Dogo Argentino is what it's called. So she's going to be a big girl when she grows up. But yeah, other than that, they went out to foster until they were about 8 weeks old and came back to the shelter, and we adopted all of them out except for her at our PetSmart adoption event.
Which is awesome that you were able to adopt so many, but this poor little girl is just so alone. Tell me, I've noticed some of her personality, very fun-loving, loves to just play around and just have that attention. So would she be fine in any kind of home setting, on an acreage, in a home, with young kids, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think she would do great in any home with anybody kind of thing. Obviously, apartment might be a little small for when she does get bigger. But I mean, if you're willing to get them out and get them out for walks and playtime and burn off that energy, then I mean, really, if you're going to be that dedicated to her, anywhere's going to be. Oh yes, I know. Anywhere's going to be fine for her.
And how is she around other dogs or walking by the cats at the SPCA?
For the most part, she gets carried everywhere right now. But I mean, I don't think she really minds the cats too much. I don't think she really knows what they are. Other dogs, like she would wrestle around with her siblings and stuff like that. But I mean, but other than that, I mean, she does really good. But
quite dramatic.
Yes,
as
dramatic,
we can see. Now, going back to the adoption event that you held over the weekend, you did adopt out the majority of her litter.
Yes.
How did the other adoptions go? Were you able to find homes for all other pets as well?
Yeah, we took, I think altogether we did 15 adoptions this past weekend at PetSmart alone. So it was really, really good. And like even one family, they came and adopted one of the puppies, and they went back to the shelter and got one of the bigger puppies that we had. And oh my goodness. And yeah, so like it was really, really good. And I think we hyped up the red carpet adoption event kind of thing really well. And we got a lot of people coming in taking a look, and most of them went home.
And do you have anything on the go as of yet, or is there anything upcoming that people should know about?
Yeah, we've slowed down just a little bit, so that's kind of nice. We're catching our breath right now. But yeah, we're hoping to get to a lot more events on the go here, and hopefully get out in the community a lot more as well.
And last week we were talking how you were, the SPCA has been full on dogs.
Yes.
Has those numbers gone down now? You know, you did mention that the litter was adopted out. Have you kind of steadily decreased your numbers in dogs?
Yes, yeah. So I mean, like the 7 of these puppies went, 2 others went. So I mean, that's a nice drop in our numbers right there. So I mean, most of our kennels still do have dogs in them, but yeah, so we have gone down quite a bit. Nothing is in the back right now, so that's kind of nice as well too. But yeah, so and then our cats right now as well, because we had to kick some of our cats out of their big condo for the puppies to go into. So we're hoping to find our little Pyrenees cross puppies some homes now. We're going to make a post about them, so hopefully they all went for their spays yesterday, and so we can hopefully find most of them their homes here right away too.
And Naomi has been spayed, so she's ready to go if anyone would like to adopt her as well.
Yes, she's ready to go, obviously. But yeah, she's had all of her vaccines, her microchips, deworms, all of that. She's ready for her family.
And is there anything medical-wise that someone should know, or is she just perfectly healthy?
No, all of them were perfectly healthy and everything. So nothing we've seen to worry about.
All right. Well, thank you so much for bringing Naomi in, and hopefully her forever home is out there and it will be found very, very soon.
Manage your waste and recyclables with Quick Pick Waste Disposal. 100% locally owned and proud to serve and support the communities we call home. Quick Pick, the convenient solution to avoid pollution.
I'm Justin with Boom 1019 and Hot 93.7, and here's what's happening. Lots of great stuff going down this week. In fact, you have 2 big events happening on the same day, so choose wisely for this one. The first of those is the Snowding Comedy Tour. That is hitting the Vic Juba Thursday, March 5th, featuring a ton of award-winning comics. This lineup is seriously super stacked. It's going to be a night you don't want to miss out on, because it's going to be insane. It's going to be really funny. If you want more info on that, on how to grab tickets, who's going to be on the show when it starts, all that fun stuff, that can be found on our websites, so make sure you check that out. The next awesome thing that's happening is Warm Up to Wainwright. That is taking place at CFB Wainwright in Building 27 from 4:30 to 6:30 also this Thursday. They're going to have free hot dogs, a character artist, those are always fun, some special guests. There's also going to be demonstrations and samples from local businesses and organizations as well. So if you're looking for something to do with the family, this is the perfect event for that. As well, this is a little ways away now, but you're going to want to register ASAP. This incredible event is taking place on May 30th. I, of course, am talking about the Relay for Life. That is going down at the Wainwright High School. If you want to register, please do so at relayforlife.ca/Wainwright. Join us and support the ones you love. No one should face cancer alone. I'm Justin with Boom 1019 and Hot 93.7, and that's what's happening.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Today I'm joined here with Marla Rouser. She is a registered social worker and private practitioner for family counseling through Care Counseling. Thank you so much for coming in today. We're doing something a little bit different. We're going to be diving into the effects of bullying on students, on adults, on really just in general the effects that it has on people, and maybe what schools should be doing more of, or what resources that should be made available for victims of bullying, because it keeps on increasing, and since social media has basically taken over the world, the bullying comes with that, and that can be very dangerous, as suicide rates have been rising over the past couple of years. So in your line of work, how you've been doing this for many, many years, how have you seen the effects of bullying on children in school?
Well, what I'm seeing is a range of effects. We're getting the physical effects such as headaches, stomach aches. We're getting psychological effects like anxiety. We're also getting effects, mental health issues such as children experiencing low self-esteem, low self-confidence, and of course with negative messages in their head about the bullying, the message it sends to a child. It causes behavior, so we're either getting behaviors like aggressive behaviors, or we're getting things like anxiety, that's depression. And often unhealthy coping tools like self-harm and suicide are things that are the side effects of bullying.
Now, growing up, personally for me, I've always heard the saying, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. But in cases like that, the words do actually give an effect on people, and the more we learn more about mental health, we realize that, that saying is kind of, can be kind of damaging. So how have you seen, especially in the way, may not be physical bullying, but using those words, how does that affect a person's psyche or, their mental health?
Well, imagine a lifetime from childhood on with messages in your head that say, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm stupid, I'm dumb, I'm not worthy. Imagine how that affects behavior in all areas of your life going forward, in everything, the workplace, relationships, as a parent.
And how has social media kind of, hurt that even more, going further into it? Because social media, great platforms can be used for great things, but it then also has been used a lot for bullying, because you can do things like stay anonymous online.
I completely agree, and over 34 years of the type of work I've been doing, I've had a chance to see pre-technology. I think bullying has become much more accessible, and so therefore we're seeing more of a resurgence and uptake of it because of that, because of things like to apps like Snapchat, where people can send pictures of things to people, messages to people, and then they disappear. So there's no proof.
And what do you think needs to be done more in schools, or what do you think they aren't doing enough of in schools that they should really be focusing on?
Well, one thing I'm finding in my practice is what schools are doing really well is that they are educating. So when there are bullying situations, what I'm finding is a lot of parents and students are reporting that, like, not so much individually, but like a group of students they'll do like a bullying workshop or have bullying education. I think perhaps in cases where it could be much more personalized, maybe more one-on-one, and I think schools are making sure that survivors of bullying or children who are being bullied are definitely getting counseling. But maybe we need more than just the wellness. Maybe we need more an individual look at the bully themselves too, and maybe consequences to that.
And now bullying doesn't just affect youth or in schools, it also happens in workplaces with adults too. So how have you seen, or what have you seen in your line of instances of bullying within the workplace and around adults?
Again, another popular topic that comes up in sessions, I think people get a sense of helplessness when they feel that people aren't listening. So when supervisors aren't listening, and when they feel that they can't change what's going on, it affects work performance. Again, mental health issues, anxiety, depression.
And really quickly before we wrap up, in your professional opinion, with the whole stigma around mental health, what do you think we should be doing in general to, break down those barriers of mental health so people, start to take it a little bit more seriously? We've come a long way, but it still hasn't gone far enough.
I think just making sure that we're allowing people to talk about their feelings and their experiences, trying to validate and helping them to connect them to resources. So making sure that bullying is a topic that's kept up, like in the media, just like what you're doing today.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming in. This was a topic that I really wanted to dive into, and I hope that, more and more is done about it and more research is put out, and we definitely do break down those barriers of mental health because it affects everyone. So thank
Okay,
you.
You're very welcome.
Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, a high of 1 and a low of -6 for tomorrow with a 62% chance of snow. And then on Thursday and Friday, a high of 0. Things cool off on Saturday with a high of -12 with an 84% chance of snow, -13 on Sunday, -12 on Monday, and then things warm up back on Tuesday with a high of -3 to wrap up your 7-day forecast.
Now, going back to our question of the day, I think there's still a lot of animals out there that would be fun pets. You know, we'd mentioned panda. That's one that I think would be cool. Even like you see bear cubs, and they're always like so cute with their trainers, but obviously it wouldn't be the exact same, but I think that would be really fun.
Yeah, definitely. Also, I've always wanted a chinchilla just because of how soft they are, and some people do have them as pets, so it's not the weirdest thing, but we did mention last hour a sloth would be so cool.
Yes, that would be awesome. Well, thank you for joining us for another edition of Primetime Local News. Have a great night.